Hey, what's going on, good people? The question I have is, can a teacher live solely off of a teacher's salary? I'm sitting outside the school right now, waiting to go into the school, and I don't necessarily want to go in, just to be perfectly honest with you. Yesterday was a challenging day. The kids were definitely turned on and were dealing with a lot of stuff. I work as a teacher, special education teacher, and I work in a structured classroom setting, which means I work with those children majority of the day. And when I say majority of the day, I really mean all of the day. That's from going to lunch to going out to their electives if they have an elective. But for the most part, my students stay in the classroom with me as well as the other teachers for the entire day. So take home about $5,200 a month. And in the area that I'm at, if you're looking for a place to stay, to rent, or to have a mortgage, my rent is around $2,200. It's actually more than that, but we're just going to say $2,200. So that $5,200 reduces down to $3,000 real quick. So now you have $3,000 left, and let's say you have two car payments that total about an additional $1,000. All right, so that's taking us down to $2,000. That's too much math for me. I didn't major in math, so that takes you down to about $2,000 at this point. And if you're like me, I'm divorced. My children do live in Chicago. I have two kids that live in Chicago. So I have two kids with my ex-wife, and I have a child as well as a stepchild with my current wife here in Tennessee. So let's say you have child support, and that child support is around, let's say, $1,000. It can definitely be more, but $1,000. So that takes you down to, are we at $1,000? So now within that $1,000, we got to be able to make sure that we have grocery money. We also got to make sure that we have gas and, able to keep up with the upkeep of the vehicle. So just like that, real quick, without doing anything else, you're down to nothing real quick. And that is the case with a lot of people. And this is not just dealing with a teacher's salary, but this is just a lot of people with different salaries in general. Now, I've always worked other jobs. I'm also a certified barber. So for many years, until just about 2 or 3 months ago, I decided to dial back from cutting hair, because it's just been time consuming. And it also has been, believe it or not, some, like pain on my back, because I get up in the morning, go work out, I go teach, and then I go to the barber shop, and that kind of starts to wear and tear on my body, especially standing on that hard surface, and my sciatic pain starts running down my legs. So ever since I stopped doing that, I've actually been feeling better as far as some of my body. But anyways, and then saying that, is it like a must for a teacher to work an additional job? We'll talk about it more when we get inside. And like I was saying, without doing anything else, we're already down to $0. That does not include doing anything for the kids, buying the kids things as they continue to grow. That doesn't even include daycare. Daycare here is about, and she only goes 3 days a week right now. My daughter only goes 3 days a week, and daycare is $280 a week. How does one make it as a teacher in this type of climate, to where everything costs a whole lot, and you don't necessarily, you bring in a decent amount of money, but everything has to go out quickly? So I may go back into barbering part time if I am not able to figure out different ways to make some income. And if y'all know any other ways to make some good income, y'all let me know, because I'm not opposed to it, and I'm not opposed to working, because I know that my kids are going to be coming soon. I know that my job is to make sure that I provide and protect the family. So I don't mind having to sacrifice myself for my children. And one of the things that we want to do is we want to be able to provide for our children. And we also want to be able to have them, as they get older, have something to aid them along on their journey. I don't want my kids having to reach back to help me for anything. I want everything that I do to be to aid everybody moving forward. Now, I got a long way to go because I've been financially irresponsible for a long time when it comes to my life. I've always invested in different type of things um, to try to provide something for my kids, or to give my kids something that they can call their own, or to chase that dream of having business ownership. So I've been ill prepared so many times going into a business, and in saying that, I spent a lot of money on different type of businesses that didn't yield many results, but did cause me and my family and those around me to lose a lot of money. And one of those things is we were looking at our money that we spent this past year as we prepare our taxes, and we did spend over 20 grand on the barber shop that we just had to close down. So just imagine if we were able to save some of that money, or if we're able to invest that money in something else that can be more beneficial. I'm not sure if a barbershop is a great investment. Y'all let me know if y'all think that a barbershop in 2025 is a good investment, because I don't necessarily think that it is. I think that I could have probably put my money somewhere else and would have been able to yield better results. So can a teacher make it on a teacher's salary? I believe so. And the reason I am saying that is because if I eliminate a lot of the things that I have going out, let's say the car notes, if we eliminate the mortgage, that's a substantial amount of money. And then in some cases, if you never go about getting a divorce, all that money stays back into your house. So can a teacher make it on a teacher salary? Can you make it on a low salary in general? The answer is yes. But there are so many things that if you quote unquote do some things right, then that's the way that you can make it on a low salary. So just imagine if you don't have rent, just imagine if you don't have car payments. If I didn't have, so if I didn't have rent, if I didn't have a mortgage, if I didn't have car payments, if basically you got out of debt, then you can make it on a very low salary. So I think that instead of me continuing to go back into doing some of the things that I've always done, one thing that I need to do is to manage my money better. Don't continue to invest in things that don't return any income. Don't return any income at all. But I think that the best option would be to get out of debt. That just actually makes the most sense to me, is to get out of debt as quickly as possible. Now that, yeah, so to think about it and to really, dive into it, the only way that I could see in the foreseeable future of being able to bounce back from not having a whole bunch of money to play with is to get out of debt.